Yeah. Just on an angle. Yeah, more. Yeah, like that.
Welcome back, guys. Wow, what a cool track that was.
Oh wow, like that was unexpected. A little bit harder than we thought it was going to be, like typical, like there was a few gnarly sections, but such a cool track, such a different terrain again.
Yeah, we just stumbled upon this amazing national park. What's it called, Ange?
It's called Parc Natural del Ports. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it because we are back in the Catalonia region, so it's not the Spanish Castellan that I'm used to.
No,
but
Barcelona.
yeah, we are close to the city of Tarragona, just to give an idea.
We're keeping a very beady eye on Oaks because there is a sheer drop here. Check that out. Another epic camp spot for the outfit. We pushed pretty hard to get to this spot here using Wikiloc again, but it didn't say anything about like flat areas for camping or anything like that. So we saw there was a mirador, which means like lookout or observation point in Spanish, and we thought, oh, there might be a place to pull over, which luckily there has. It was a mission to level Skadi, but it's pretty much bang on flat now, so that's cool. So it's about 4 p.m. I think it is, so we won't do too much more filming today. We'll chill out, give Oaks some time to just run around and stuff, and we will see you bright and early in the morning. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Banana way. Good morning. Really peaceful night's sleep here. So quiet, so calm. I love this kind of camping where you're just in the middle of nature. It's just so relaxing. You sleep so well. Well, except if you've got a toddler like us.
Hi. Definitely a little bit of ice up here last night.
Yeah.
Just wiping up all the condensation I can with this, then I'll drop the tent.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly colder than I thought it was going to be, but we started almost at sea level, the track, and this is around 1,100 meters elevation, so yeah, a little bit colder than we thought, but still regardless, beautiful spot. The views to come here was spectacular on the way. The start of the track is actually on asphalt, and you've got lots of like switchback up a really steep road, and you've got the views of the valley, the sea in a distance, and you've got the beautiful rocks formation. There was this like little statue of a wild goat. It was just like stunning views. And then as you drive up at some stage, when you pass the lookout, it becomes a dirt road, and it clearly says 4x4 only. So we knew we were on the right track. So here we are. Our mornings are usually pretty chill. We wake up around 7 a.m, make breakfast for Oakley, have our coffees, have our breakfast, which we make the night before, just like an overnight oat, so it's nice and quick. And then we just get ready for the day. I usually deal with Oakley while Chris is packing the tent. So it's kind of like teamwork. And yeah, we are getting ready to tackle the rest of the track today.
The moment of truth. Below freezing nights, this is going to take a while. You can hear that pop. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the distributor. Foot flat to the floor. Nada. She dead. Zero fuel in the bowl, okay. So that was a medium difficulty start for us. It's been much worse when we were in the mountains. So you can kind of see why I'm loath to continue doing this, because when I look back I can see my voltmeter and it's really taking a load off those batteries. So that was just some CRC motor starter, so I guess that's some ether. That really helped, putting that in the vacuum, well, what is the vacuum tube that goes straight into the carbs. So there's definitely something's not quite right, but I just don't really know what it is. I've tried a number of different sequences. I cannot get it to start better than that. So there is a cold start feature on the carbs. Maybe that's a bit gunked up and not really working properly. Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with this tired old engine. So basically from having max choke out, now I just gradually start to reduce it and try and drop my RPM till a point where she'll just hold her normal idle, which can take a while. And obviously it's not ideal to be revving it hard because the oil hasn't warmed up and circulated through the engine yet, so it's definitely not good for the motor. I understand that. One thing I did work out, don't know why I hadn't noticed before, the odo, so the amount of kilometers that the engine has done or is doing, doesn't work at all. And I didn't actually realize. So she's stuck on 214,000 kilometers, but that might have been stuck there for bloody 20 years for all I know. So I actually don't know how many kilometers this B30 has done. Yeah, maybe that's another great sign to swap route. But yeah, now we just sit here for about 5 or 10 minutes until I can get my idle, and then we'll carry on. Stopped at this old farm cottage. It's pretty cool on the mountain here. This house has been long abandoned. Wow. It's the old fireplace, the old chimney. Looks like it's been quite badly burned at some point upstairs. We've seen signs of like cattle all over the show. They must still live here as their shelter, because there's just fresh pats everywhere. Yeah, they definitely still use this. Cool. The trail hasn't been too eventful up until this point. We've been driving for a bit over an hour. Quite easy, really easy trail. And we're just going to set Oaks up for a nap and continue until lunchtime.
We've just arrived at our lunch spot. Pretty nice views.
Very nice view.
Keeping an eye on the little man.
It took a bit to level the trail.
Yeah, we couldn't find any flat spot again. So, some big rocks. We've got some lunch for you. Ooh, all right.
That's what
You've got the seat with the $1 million view. What a way. Here you go for you, sir. Bon appetit. So yeah, I'm making Oakley's lunch first. At least he's happy. I can cook a bit more in peace. Not having him. He might need some supervision there.
Yeah, always. He's locked and loaded. He's a happy lad.
Yeah, really nice trail to come here. Definitely easier than the part we did yesterday. It was more a dirt road going through a forest, and then we climbed up a little bit, a bit more rocky, went on the ridge line, looking over both valleys.
There's been lots of like ruined farmhouses, like there's one just down here. Tons, like stone ruined farmhouses. They're quite cool to drive past. Time for lunch. I'm starving.
So are we going to start the outdoor cooking?
Yes, let's do it.
For the first time.
So we bought proactively something that he's fine. Something that we found on Amazon to take up less of a footprint than your normal kind of gas canister cooker. So, I can't remember how to use it.
This is our first time, so bear with us.
What do you do again?
Transform.
And that's it.
There we go.
That's right. Pops out. It's got little legs. Got him in the corner of my eye.
Oh, good.
Great, just like that. And then that loads into here.
So usually we have different lunch because like we feel like different things. So Chris at the moment, I'm making him some pork sandwich. We found some really nice marinated lomo di cerdo. Yeah, it's been quite tasty, so that's a nice easy lunch for me to make him. Just have to fry the pork, and then I can just put a bit of salad, tomato, mayo, and barbecue sauce for him. And me, I kind of like change my lunch, not every day, but every week or so. I like to diversify a little bit more, so I'll show you what I make in a sec. And quite typical, Oakley likes Dada's food better than his own food. That's pretty good to use the gas cooker for the first time, so that we know the day we do need to cook on gas if we've run out of power, we know it works, because it's one of the reasons why we got this as well, not only just for outdoor cooking, but as a backup for induction. So far, cooking on induction every day for every single meal has been absolutely fine with our energy drive system. We've got 400 amp of lithium. Even though we don't have much solar in winter, we manage. So for lunch, I'm having a little tartine, like 2 little like toast. One will be egg and avocado, and one will be chorizo, hummus, and tomato.
So I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago, I think 3 videos ago, we said that maybe the next time you see us, we would be in the country of Andorra, and that we were going to come around through what's called the smuggler's route. We were right on the cusp of it potentially being way too much snow, but we thought we might be able to still pull it off. So we tried really hard to come back around through these mountain pass roads so that we could enter basically from Spain. So we'd go from the Spanish Pyrenees into Andorra and then drive back out again. That was the plan. Now, unfortunately, our B30 did not want to play ball. So one thing we've noticed in Spain is it's actually only like every 3rd or 4th gas station will have 98 kind of premium unleaded octane fuel. Normally it's just 95. I used to run this truck on 95 in Sweden and didn't notice anything wrong. I mean, I hardly drove it. It was normally broken down, but I didn't notice any pre-detonation or anything like that. So we filled it with 95, basically just before trying to get to Andorra. And we did a forward drive track, which we filmed and showed you. And then once we finished that track and got out onto the highway, the truck was like shuddering. I shouldn't say violently, but like it was shaking enough for our side mirrors to be vibrating to the point where I couldn't see out of it. I thought there was an issue with the driveline again or something. I was like, oh, what's happened? Turned out the motor was just running really, really rough, and it was really showing at low RPMs in 3rd gear. So then I basically pulled the spark plugs out, and this one here in the engine block was really like carboned up quite bad. So the only thing I can think of is that we got really poor octane bad fuel in that part of Spain. It was in like some random village in the mountains. And the engine it wasn't backfiring, but it was just running so rough. So basically we had to kind of use that gas up and then start trying to get 98 into it to up the octane. Nowhere around had an octane booster. We just could not find an octane booster. Yeah, that was pretty sucky, because it got so bad that in 1st gear I couldn't really go up a slope. The truck was dying on me. So I ended up making the safer call and telling Ange, like, nah, we can't do this. Not with the engine in the state that it is. Going up really high into the mountains where I know it's going to be really cold starts and things like that. So yeah, that was really unfortunate, but we couldn't do the smuggler's route this time. Maybe we can on the way back through when we leave Spain. But then since then I've sort of had ongoing issues with the truck. Now this is the original distributor, I assume. These plugs are pretty worn, so like when I pull them out of the distributor cap, you know, you've got all this like gunk down in here. So I've been kind of trying to clean that the best I can, make sure that they're not loose or anything like that, and then putting them back in, kind of opening up the actual cap of the distributor. That seemed to be fine, and then taking the spark plugs out, cleaning them, putting back in, and then suddenly the engine will run nicely again. I do know it's burning lots of oil, so it's definitely got either valve seal leaks or cylinder ring leaks. Not much smoke, but it starts to smoke now. Off-road going downhill, when the compression is quite high, it'll be puffing out smoke going downhill, so there's definitely something wrong. But I'm just trying to keep this old girl running for as long as I can with the most minimal amount of spending that I can do on it. So I know there's this thing called an electronic ignition called a 1-2-3 ignition, which I've heard is amazing and transforms this truck. But it is really expensive. Like, we're talking, like, I think all up it'll cost me at least €500. So we're really, to be honest, trying to avoid that. And I don't know much, like, I really don't know much about old petrol motors. Maybe some of you mechanically minded people will be able to say, look, that's not what it is. It's just because it's burning oil, it's just going to continue happening. Or no, it's the carburetor. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just not convinced that it is spark. This is the old coil up here, and it is an old Bosch one. So I'd say all of that's not doing me any favors, but the truck does still run, and normally pretty smoothly, but it is starting to idle a little bit rough. Okay, I'll stop blabbering. I'm going to pull the spark plugs out, have a look at them again. These were replaced with Luke in the Netherlands, if you can remember that. So I shouldn't really be needing to replace spark plugs. I'll clean this all up, try and make sure the distributor cap is as clean as I can get it. Everything's nice and tight, and then I'll start her up and see if she's running a little bit better again. Don't know if you can see that, it's not really focusing well, but there's like a layer of crusty stuff, which is like a carbon. So it was much worse the first time I did this, but I think that is what's causing the cylinder misfire. So I'm going to clean that all up and put it back in, but I will replace the spark plug completely very soon when the order arrives from Tatanka. I'll open up all the others and clean them as well as best I can, kind of pick this stuff off and put it back in. Good morning from Pensacola.
We made it to the Mediterranean Sea, finally! Look at that!
It is the 8th of Jan and it is my birthday.
Yay! So happy birthday!
Today is the big 38. Pretty stoked that I made it this far and we're having a great time. We are about to go check out this like medieval peninsula and check out this castle, of course. What more would I want to do on my birthday than check out a castle? Yeah, stayed here last night. There's quite a few vans along this stretch of coast. I can see why, because it's so beautiful. And this sort of becomes a national park, which I think we'll explore tomorrow. And I don't think it'll be much off-road or anything like that, but it should be nice and beautiful. And it just feels so good to be back by the water. Itching to jump in and get some fish for dinner, but I have no spare fishing gear. Did not bring any with me to Europe, so I need to sort that out really quickly. Wow, what an amazing spot. Gosh. Give you some history on the place. It's really rich, so I'll actually read a little bit from Wikipedia for you. So Pensacola is often called the Gibraltar of Valencia and locally known as the City of the Sea because it is on this peninsula here. So the name is an evolution of Latin meaning peninsula. So the history of the place goes back to the Iberians, then later it became Phoenician, then Greek, and then it was next captured by the Carthaginians under Hamilcar. And then legend has it that this is where his son Hannibal swore that he would never be a friend of Rome. So that's Hannibal who crossed the Carthaginian mountains and kind of sacked Rome. And then the present castle, which we see here, was built by the Knights Templar, which is pretty amazing, between 1294 and 1307. In the 14th century, it was garrisoned by the Knights of Montesa, and in 1420 it reverted to the crown of Aragon, which is of course that region that we've been exploring all these amazing castles in. And then finally it became home of one of the popes. So yeah, hugely rich history, this castle. So cool. There's a lot of construction going on, I guess, because it's winter time. They're doing lots of renovations and stuff around the town for the big summer crowds, I would say. But it's beautiful to be able to visit this place when there's like no tourists at all. The only vans that are parked next to us are just some German and French tourists, but yeah, there's hardly anyone here, which is so nice. Gives this guy heaps of room to find rocks, which he will find them. They are not safe. Good boy. Having fun? Silly!
The things you do to get your child to look at the camera.
And Mama and me just had nice warm showers.
Oh,
are you getting a little bit more used to the outdoor shower experience?
Yes. Well, definitely I can't complain. With a view like this, with hot water, I can wash my hair, which I do under 15 liters. So I'm very proud of myself. So yeah, no, much happier with it.
Yeah, when it's not frigid outside, it's not so bad at all. It's kind of nice having rocks at your feet too. It's like you've got one of those fancy outdoor showers that some resorts have. Ooh. So that was a really nice walk that we did all the way up. You can see it in the distance there. Don't know how far that would have been, maybe 6k. And then when Ange was putting Oaks to sleep, I went for a jog kind of up the hill to this really nice tower. That was 4k there, 4k back. So got some good steps in today. And then yeah, just had our showers, had lunch, had some nice Spanish tapas. We've got a couple of beers to have. What beers do we have again, Ange? San Miguel. They're nice. They taste really similar to Corona. San Miguel's really good. So cheap too. We bought 6 small bottles for I think it was like €2.50, like crazy cheap, the alcohol here. And we got some sangria, some premixed sangria as well. So we'll have a nice afternoon. The weather is starting to kind of cloud over a bit. I think we'll stay here again tonight because it's such a nice quiet spot, and tomorrow we will mosey into the national park.
How nice is that to do a little coastal drive first thing in the morning? The Mediterranean Sea just there.
So nice to be at the Med finally.
It's just really nice, peaceful vibe to be here. So I think that's one thing that I really love about Spain so far. just like a few days ago, it felt like we were in the mountains in the Pyrenees, and then we were to some like lower range mountain, like rocky terrain, and now we are the coast. And just in a matter of few days, you've got that diversity of landscape, which it makes you really excited every day by something new. I think that's the only downside of Australia. Sometimes you have to drive thousands of kilometers to have a little bit of a new kind of terrain, and so that's quite refreshing in that respect. So,
and yeah, Spain overall is turning into like a proper overlanding paradise for us. We're really impressed because Spain, we've never really heard of as being really good for overlanding, but so far it's just been phenomenal, and everyone is so friendly. We've not had one dirty look, you know, having a camp or anything like that. Everyone's just thumbs up, and it's really nice. Maybe it would be different in the summer, but at this time in winter, it's been phenomenal.
We've got a lot more adventures coming up. We're heading to our next destination today, so a bit of driving to do, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.